Stop crying before I give you something to cry about. Never quite made sense to me. Like a belt to my backside would suddenly put a smile on my face. That's where it all started. I was taught not to cry because the sight of waterfalls down my left thigh would make my uncles cringe. They taught me how to fight at the age of 13 and to only fill out applications at warehouses because a real man sweats while breaking his back and only works with his hands, like my ancestors. Pricking their fingers on blood-smeared cotton for hundreds of years wasn't enough. These assembly lines and loading trucks only hurt if you don't wear gloves. Work smart, not hard, right? Right. I was taught not to cry, even when cops are selling bullets in the streets. You know us blacks like to shop until we drop. Check the toe tag. I guess that's why body bags come with a receipt. The thunderous sound of their feet clashing against the pavement reminded them of Jesse Owens in his prime. Whoever said lightning doesn't strike twice in one spot had to be lying. Because I seen brothers who look just like me get struck a few times. No matter how fast I sprint and run like the wind, I guess it's in my mother's nature to worry when she watches her son race against Father Time. I was taught not to cry. Because if I'm being weak, who's going to be strong for me? Am I supposed to let this sun-kissed, red undertone, strong personality with natural hair disrupt my flawed perception of peace? I think not. Or maybe so. Other than the women in my family, I'm not going to let another gentle soul get close. That's how heartbreaks happen. I don't want to be all in love like Samson because women like Delilah will use men like me for practice. Would you still love me if I poured out my traumatic experiences? I mean, that's just a part of the package. I'm just asking. I was taught not to cry. And nobody really explained why growing up, except for the feeble excuse of big boys don't cry, and wonder why most of us are desensitized when guns are drawn and no one bats an eye. It's because we idolize phrases such as get money and ready to die. No more talks of the birds and the bees. Is when you get pulled over, this is how you comply. And I'm not making any excuses for the way men act, especially the ones who look like me. It's sad how we harbor so much anger, sinking our own ships from letting pride weigh us down. A man with the weight of the world on my broad shoulders, but you might send chills up my spine if you had the weight of a crown. This is a tradition, deeply stained like Baptist church windows on Sunday morning, consoling every insecurity and fear. It's the only time I ever felt comfortable in public shedding a tear, because up until this day, I portrayed to be perfect. Secretly club hopping, but laying prostrate at different church services. Am I struggling or a double-minded man? Don't mind the callous when I shake your hand, because I've been busy holding on to my past while pulling the future my way. At times I felt myself becoming numb, because my future looked vague, like the root of my problems. Let's dig deep down to the roots. We question sexual abuse victims, blaming for the clothes they wear, when 1 out of 6 men could look in the mirror and say, me too. Trust me, I understand, you've been hurt. Me too. People are like tattoos, deeply embedded in your skin, leave you scarred for life. That's why I'm trying to get rid of these soul ties and let my spirit win. I'm tired of battling my flesh. It's therapeutic when I look at my own actions and let my words scream for help like, why God? Why do I have to learn through so many heartbreaks? I swallow my ego so I swallow my ego just to find out how love tastes. Well, I learned my lesson, because now I know how it feels to be free. So I apologize to the people I hurt while I was hurting. Anger made me turn a blind eye. Today, I started getting rid of my detrimental ways, all because I was taught not to cry.